So here we are with the finished kit, and I'll show you the extra parts. So this little lady driver comes with all the standard body, all the kits really. It's just a spare person if you want to have that. And then the standard carrier for that person sits in here. And then the standard, I guess, torso piece. But this one has a pivoting one, so you want to use that. This goes somewhere in that body as well. You do have two extra joints. I have broken one of these joints before, so it's nice to have two extras. The two standard drive wheels that go on the side of the legs there. The two standard feet. And then the two standard tiny hands. Okay. So now specific to this kit, you do have two extra wavy hands. And I have a wavy hand over there. So in this case, you have a grip hand, a wavy hand, and three wavy hands here. And then if you don't want it on these like hovercraft modules, there are some extra large feet here. So they're actually a little bigger than the feet that are in these modules. So you can pop those in. And then it has this extra shoulder, which is identical to this one. But what's missing is an extra plate to go in here. So I'll never use this shoulder because I prefer the shoulder that's on this one here. Alright, well anyways, if you want to do a kit bash or something, it's always nice to have extra parts and stuff. So we're getting into the actual finished one here. I guess we'll start at the bottom. So hovercraft feet here. I just used a display paint marker to paint all this, and then I clear coated the whole thing with the matte finish. So you can see, yeah, very, very small feet. They stop right there. Whereas the other ones, you can see they're just much longer. Okay. I don't know why they wouldn't just make this cavity longer, so you wouldn't even have to swap the feet out, but strange. You can't really pivot the feet too much because you have this drive shaft running up to this propeller back here, going to this transmission belt cover, and so that kind of limits the movement. You can pivot it front and up and down, but it takes some effort because this does pivot on the drive wheel. So you can, well, hopefully you can see I'm spinning that drive wheel there. So that's a pivot point. This is a pivot point. And that's a pivot point up and down. So you could pose it with a lot of work, but it doesn't want to move freely. The joints are really tight. So it might actually make more sense to take the thing apart, repose everything, and then put it back together. Okay, well anyways, I put on some extra decals. It did come with a few decals, but it just still looked a little bit plain. So I added some like Gundam decals here. Alright, like an RGZ-95 Gundam. So there are three propellers in there. I just painted them black. Yeah, it's kind of hard for you to see, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, maybe you can see it now, but... Okay, so... yeah, it seems like the drive wheel here is driving a belt. You can see I painted it black a little bit. You can see a little more detail. So which runs into this drive shaft, which has another drive shaft going into that and drives a propeller. So it actually makes logical sense how this system would work. Except maybe the flotation. I suppose maybe it would have been smart to maybe have some sort of round openings here to make it like air would come out through there. But then another question is, where does the air come from above to make these float? Well, anyways, it's a fictional robot, so I guess it doesn't matter. So you could pivot this knee, but it's really difficult with all this extra stuff, or it wouldn't really stand. It wouldn't make much sense. You know, I don't know why you would want to pose a hovercraft thing doing that, but you could. Alright, back here we have the standard third drive wheel, and that pivots up and down. And it is a separate piece. The problem is the paint, you know, gets stuck there. I'm spinning it a little bit. Okay, little piston details. I painted up a little bit, and so you can see those joints there. And so those joints will allow the legs to pivot not only front and back, but also pivot in and out. Which there, you can see a little bit there. So only the armor is going to collide with itself. The joints are actually allow a lot of movement. It's just you're going to run into other parts when you go too far. So then you may have seen these two flaps. They're just friction fit on there. So those flaps nice and up and down. And then there's a pivot point way up in there. There, I think you can see it now. So what that does is it allows the torso to literally look down at the ground. I think this is the first one I've seen that actually has a pivoting torso. So I guess in this case you could have it chilling out, laying back, catching some rays. Yeah, I've never seen another one do that. So it's nice that it does, because now we can see the shoulder articulation here. So this thing has a butterfly effect, as you can see. The arm can go, unfortunately the armor collides. It can go back pretty far though. And then there's a ball joint underneath this, same as in the hips. So that can rotate in here, and then that hinge can allow the arm to swing in and out. And then also, because there's a peg going into the bicep, that can rotate. The elbow is just a hinge, one hinge. So yeah, and then the hands are just a peg, not a rotating, not a ball joint or anything. So you can only spin it. Okay, it's a pretty small model, so I'm not too bothered by it. It's good enough, I think. Now, one issue I ran into, it's my own stupidity. There were two, I guess, raised ribs here, but I accidentally used cement instead of decal softener because the Tamiya decal softener has a yellow cap, but their Limonene cement has an orange cap, and I just wasn't paying attention. So I ended up having to sand down those ribs, and these are like some decals from a tank kit. So, because I ruined the decals with cement, because I'm a moron. Alright, so, but this decal did come with it, but these are Gundam decals here. I'm trying to see what else came with it, the decal wise. I think maybe these, yeah, these little text things, possibly, I can't remember. No, I think those are Gundam decal kits as well. But this one came with the model kit. So this one I did lay down the decal mark fit, super strong mark fit, and that's what shrunk it down next to these ribs. So unfortunately it shrank it down off center. Oh well. And then the other one is here. Okay, so articulation wise you got those. This rifle just has a peg, so it's only going to spin. What's nice is it has like the trigger finger in that recess. It actually looks like a SCAR rifle. Interesting. Alright, the head can pivot on this there, but only rotationally. It can't move forward or back. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't pivot either, and those black things are decals, by the way. It would have been cool if it was just a round. I don't know why they didn't make this a round piece to make it be able to go up and down like on a front end of a helicopter. Yeah, okay, so the last few bits of articulation is this hatch will open. I didn't bother painting the figure this time. I never display these things with the hatch open. There, boy. Some sort of, I don't know what's making this want to stay down. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't want to stay up for some reason. I guess it's just not designed to. It doesn't want to clear this, that's the issue. Oh, that is the problem. Alright, so hold on. If I pull it up, okay, there we go. So you can see the pilot head up there, but I can also open the actual back hatch. And so you'll see the pilot is different from that female character. This pilot has like some sort of helmet. You know what? Hold on one second. I might have one painted. Sadly, I do not. But let's see if the other figures will fit. So here's that female figure I painted from a different kit, your standard female. Unfortunately, her legs... Oh, no, I guess... No, she doesn't... Oh, never mind. She'll fit in there. Okay. Then I have like a diving character. I think I glued the hatch on that model together. That's why the diver is not in that one. So that one works okay. Doesn't look like a Marine though. This guy has a ball cap on. This looks like a casual off-duty Marine. And that works as well. So basically all 4 figures will fit. That's pretty neat. I'll just have to come back to painting this one day. Yeah, well, or maybe not, because I'll never open it. There's one hole here that was nebulous. I don't know why. Maybe on a different model there's something there. And some ammo rack things, but no ammo cans. So I guess that's it. Oh, no, my bad. Over here, so the asymmetric shoulder here, it's got this rail, and on that is this drone. I didn't even know what this was until I looked at the... I was wondering what it was. I think I glued that in place. Never mind. So it's some sort of drone, and I think it was in the cartoon. You can watch Obsolete. It's our YouTube creation, so you should look it up. It's free to watch. And they're pretty short episodes, so it's easy to digest. Unfortunately, they didn't make many of them, so I kind of wish the series picked up again. It would have been cool. Alright, so here's a plain suit, although I did add some jerry cans from some other model kit. Here's, I think, the Azania one. I didn't label it. I'm going to have to start labeling these things. I don't remember the names of these things. But it's different... body entirely, actually. Okay. Well, a very similar one is the Marine prototype. So it basically is this without the hovercraft feet. That's what it seems like. But this also has a hole up there for no apparent reason. I'm a little curious. Oh, here is that piloted figure here. So that's basically what that thing should look like in there. Oh, it's alright. Put the sticker inside. The Gavial is this one. I should just put it on this one I may have glued together. No. There's no sticker. So I apologize. Yeah, if you really want to know what these are, you'll just have to look up Obsolete and look up the play channel, the playlist of the other figures there. You know what? Let's get rid of the plain one. Compare those two. I didn't really paint this exactly the way it should be either. And also I have some jerry cans and some other baggage to put on there. So they're basically walking tanks. I think they're really cool. I mean, this is not far away from reality. I'm not going to doubt that there's going to be walking tanks in the future. So this one here, oh, my bad, this one does pivot also. I just didn't remember. Cool. Alright, so that's it for today. There's still a couple more that I'm going to have to get from this Obsolete collection. It's just they're all out of print model kits, so they're hard to find. Alright, see you then. Bye.